Mother Teresa Early Childhood Education Center is currently raising funds to construct an outdoor learning space. As Michaela Henschel reports, with thousands of dollars left to raise, a 5-year-old student is taking matters into his own hands, one bottle at a time.
6, 7, 8.
Dominic is like most children his age, energetic and full of life, but he's already giving back in a big way. So do you know how much money you raised?
$277.
Dominic donated the $277 back to the school to be put towards an outdoor learning space. While the project is still in the fundraising stage, Dominic's father wanted his son to be able to utilize the space while he's still a student at the school.
It's proven that outdoor learning is more beneficial, children in nature rather than cooped up in a classroom. I find in the oil-driven community that a child could not necessarily turn out the right way, and he needs to learn the value of a dollar at a young age.
The duo decided to start contributing to the nearly $50,000 price tag by collecting bottles.
Well, how I did it, first I started collecting bottles. And then I went to my auntie's house and she had any bottles. And we said, "Can we have your bowls?" And she said yes.
And in just a matter of weeks, Dominic raised nearly $300 and plans to keep it going.
He's excited. He comes home from school and wants to go bottle picking.
And why did you want to give the money to the school?
It's because I knew they needed the money for the outdoor learning space. It might take a long time, so I gave them the money.
Michaela Henschel, Newcap News.
Though many in the community may not realize it now, there was a time when overcrowding at Holy Rosary High School reached a critical level. As we see in this week's edition of Retrospect, 20 years ago, the province and the community came together to build a future for our students.
Serby joined a number of local officials from both the city and the Catholic School Board to officially break ground on the new high school.
This part of the province, in our view, really had a need for some infrastructure upgrade without any question, and it's demonstrated in spades when you look at the kind of commitments that have been made here financially, both to the public and to the Catholic system.
Plans for the facility are almost at the drawing stage, but what is known is that it will provide an upgraded facility with more space, hopefully easing some of the overcrowding issues currently facing the division.
And everyone is really looking forward to just having a little bit more elbow room, do their work, and then get on with it, you know. So it'll just make the learning environment a lot more pleasant for students and staff.
Almost 20 years later, close to 900 students still enjoy the new Holy Rosary High School and the major improvements that have been made.
And I think the last year we had classes in the staff room. We shared a bathroom with the students. I think it was 3 stalls for all of us. It was crowded. It's like night and day. Sometimes it's shocking to be working in a building that has this much to offer.
And it's not just the building itself that has changed, but how the students are taught.
Years ago, where it was more a full classroom approach, kind of a one-size-fits-all, we've moved more towards differentiation, adapting for student needs, modifications, just so that they can become more successful.
Even with more resources available to students and the community than ever before, Holy Rosary has plans to continue expanding opportunities for learning. That's all for Retrospect. One aspect of this year's Ag Education Day was kids leading the learning. Gerard Lampow meets a couple of 4-H'ers who led the charge on horses.
This is Everett. He's 9 years old and he's a paint horse.
11-year-old Jaisa Streletsky has been a 4-H'er for 2 years. She attends Queen Elizabeth Elementary School and has been around horses since she was 5. Jaisa does English and Western style riding.
The Western saddle has a horn on it, and you can't jump in it. You just will ride in it, and you can tie your ropes around the horn. And in an English saddle, there's no horn, and I think it's more comfier. And you can jump in it, and you do dressage and English in it.
Jaisa was one of the young presenters at this year's Ag Education Day.
This is the English saddle, so you do English, dressage, show jumping in it, and it's not like the Western saddle. It has no horn, and it has a bigger back bump seat on it.
Kaylee Wortman is also with the Doness 4-H Multi-Club. Her specialty is Western and showing. She's working with a draft horse that's used mainly for pulling a cart.
So this is the bridle, and so these are blinders, and what they do is help them stay focused onto what they're supposed to be doing. And this is the bit, and it goes inside the mouth. And then this is the harness, so it goes on the body of them and it hooks up to the carts. And then over here we have a neck harness, and it goes around their neck and it just helps them carry weight.
Both Kaylee and Jason are looking forward to riding their horses in the region later this summer, and safety is a big factor.
The helmet, you usually want to use the helmet when you're riding. 18 and older, you don't have to use the helmet, but people encourage you to. Why you should use it is because if you fall off and you hit your head, you can get badly hurt and you can get a concussion.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
It's hockey season once again in Lloydminster. Teams like the Junior B Bandits are busy working on 2018-19 rosters, and spring camp is where the evaluations for said roster occur. Lance Phillips with more on a Bandits team that has big holes to fill for the upcoming season.
Off-season typically amounts to change. Overage players leaving and the search for talented youth beginning. In their second rendition of spring camp, the Junior B Bandits found diamond amongst stone, players that showed they have what the team needs.
Size, everybody's looking for size. That grit, those guys that want to compete, right? Probably the main thing that we were looking for.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that they got speed and they got skill. So speed in this league is important, and we feel we need that to go forward.
Now begins arguably the coaching staff's toughest task, locking those players into sticking with the Junior B team.
Yeah, we got 4 guys that I'm really interested in. They have Junior A camps in the fall, and you know, if that doesn't work out for them, hopefully they look to us once that's all wrapped up.
The Bandits are dealing with some of their top-level players graduating from the Junior B ranks, including 3 of the team's top 4 scorers, a loss that early hopes can be filled by men that have a year or 2 under their belt.
We need to fill those roles, right? So hopefully with the experience that they picked up in their rookie years that they can make that next step.
I feel like I gotta have a big presence on the ice, and like we lost Nielsen and those boys, like that's a huge loss. So, and then picking up some guys too, that always helps. And sometimes those young kids will surprise you right away, like Tegan Peters last year. Like he was phenomenal and good for us. So yeah.
I think some of us need to take the responsibility to move up and try and fill it up. But the guys that left are pretty tough to fill. They're pretty special players, that's for sure.
I feel good with the guys. We had just over 50 guys come out in the ice over the 3 days, and yeah, it's looking good.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.